Lotus Squad, welcome back to Sage Lotus Tarot 888. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the squad. So, I wasn't planning on coming on here to do a reading today, but after last night's dream, I just had to tap in. I want to touch on the dream a little bit before we get into the messages here at hand because I feel like they're relative. So, in this dream, I was in this large building. I'm not sure if it was a cathedral or a church, or it could even look like a museum or something to that effect. I recall speaking to someone. I don't recognize the person in waking life, but I was speaking to someone. And the next thing I knew, I was looking up at the left-hand side of the building ceiling, and there was an opening in the ceiling, revealing the sky. What I saw was this dark green sort of atmosphere. That's how the sky looked to me. And this dark cyclone of wind coming towards us. I remember that there was a bench. I believe it was a marble bench. I mean, that's how I recall it in my mind. The type of material was marble. And it was anchored to the ground within this building. As I saw what looked to be a tornado approaching, I felt no fear, shockingly enough. That's what got me, actually. I felt no fear. But I knew if I didn't take cover soon, I would be sucked inside that cyclone in a blink of an eye. So this marble bench that was anchored to the ground, I recall wrapping both arms, pressing my body on the top of the bench and wrapping each arm underneath like so. I was hugging this bench. And the very foundation of the building, along with the building itself, was uprooted by this tornado. Mind you, I'm still clinging to this marble bench that was anchored into the very foundation of this building as well. The building went up, I went up with it, and still I felt no fear. I didn't feel like I would be swept away. Next thing I know, the building, and with me inside said building, came to the ground. Like someone throwing, an object on the ground. It just... No walls were affected. There were openings in certain places, of course. A little bit of damage and debris. But me, the bench, and the building survived. I immediately woke up after that. And mind you, I had just gotten into REM sleep at this time. It was so lucid. I could feel the wind. I could recall the emotions upon seeing it. And it was calm. Calm within the storm. And so immediately I started looking into the symbolic meaning behind tornadoes. And what I found... And I want to break this down before I look into what I found here. But my interpretation initially upon waking up, I was taken aback at how calm I was. Even to my own self, I was like, why was I so calm? Even though I ended up surviving, the disaster, if you would like to call it so. I was still taken aback that I was so calm, because usually I'm panicking or trying to figure out, oh my God, no anxiety, no fear here. That interpretation from my own perception is telling me that regardless of the emotional storm we may be feeling within and dealing with the emotional storm of others, remaining calm even in the face of fear and taking action in doing so, you will result in victory and you will survive said storm. Another thing that struck my curiosity was the type of building I was in. It was still a bit hazy. It still is kind of a bit hazy, but it looked like a church of some sort. It looked like a cathedral. That's the best way I could describe it. And it made me think, well, some of the things that I found symbolically on the tornado, such as, the forces of nature, change, destruction, chaos, high emotions, a whirlwind of emotion, a whirlwind of chaos, even adversity. There's still hope within dealing with said storm. There's still hope in being able to overcome said storm. But there seems to be a storm in on its way to those in the church. And this, again, is purely from my perception of the interpretation of this dream. This is not to fearmonger, and this is not to cause any sort of disruption or issue or any of that for anyone. But I felt like I needed to come on here to discuss it, because some of the things I found in other interpretations is as follows. When you dream about surviving a tornado, it's as though you've entered a realm where the forces of nature become both surreal and symbolic. Surreal and symbolic. These dreams often bring a mix of fear and resilience, reflecting the subconscious mind's attempt to process life's uncertainties. So what I get from that is that maybe some of those emotions, that high cyclone of emotion, is coming from the unknown and fearing the unknown. But it states, in these vivid reveries, you might find yourself navigating through strong winds and debris, clinging to shelter, or witnessing the awesome power of nature up close. Surviving a tornado in a dream can be a powerful metaphor for a sudden change, overcoming challenges and adversity in your waking life. So I believe that that's a part of the message, because not only do you need to pay attention to your emotions within your dream that you're trying to interpret, but also the symbolism behind some of the items in the dream, the people in the dream, the colors in the dream, all synthesized to then give you the conclusion and the result that you're looking for. So that's very telling to me. Before we even put down any cards, that is my message. I believe that I needed to relay to those of you that need it. Whatever storms are in on its way, expect the unexpected. Whatever struggles and trials and tribulations that you may have faced, you will overcome these things. You will overcome the adversity that you face. You will overcome all of the obstacles that you may have been dealing with or have dealt with in the past and still recovering from. Something interesting that I noticed as well with some of the symbolism associated with tornadoes, it states, when you dream about a tornado approaching, whether it's a tornado heading straight for you or you find yourself tornado chasing, it can be a vivid and unsettling experience that often leaves you with a lingering sense of unease. Dreams of tornadoes can symbolize a variety of emotions and situations in your working life. On one hand, they may represent a feeling of impending chaos or turmoil, suggesting that you are grappling with unresolved issues or anxieties. On the other hand, these dreams could also serve as a metaphor for a need to confront and navigate through life's challenges head on. When I read that, I immediately thought back to one of my other videos, one of my recent readings. Guys, go check that out. There may be some nuggets of wisdom within that as well, where I said something along the lines of, if you see something, say something. And to stand your ground in the face of bullying, to stand your ground in the face of those who are provoking you and perpetuating against you, etc. This is in alignment with that dream within itself, because there were so many emotions associated with some of the things that I touched on in those readings, and my own inner state. It was very on point with what I was perceiving, as well as what I had noticed in some of this information regarding the symbolism behind tornadoes. Another thing that I noticed in regards to the cultural perspectives on tornadoes. In Native American cultures, tornadoes are seen as powerful natural spirits or entities. Dreaming of tornadoes might be interpreted as a connection with spiritual forces or a need to heed nature's warnings, or both. If you guys have lineage in correlation to that, that is your message. In African cultures, dreams are often considered messages from ancestors or spirits. Dreaming of tornadoes could be seen as a spiritual message, urging the dreamer to pay attention to their surroundings or suggesting impending changes. Again, apply this to your ancestry. It could be a combination of these, right? The next one I found. In Asian cultures, natural elements are often linked to cosmic forces. Dreaming of tornadoes may be interpreted as a reflection of cosmic energies at play, signifying potential upheavals or transformations in the dreamer's life. In European and Western cultures, tornadoes are often associated with destruction and chaos. Dreaming of tornadoes may be viewed as a symbol of upheaval, change, or personal crisis, reflecting the cultural perception of these natural disasters. In Middle Eastern cultures, dreaming of tornadoes might be seen as a metaphor for turbulent times, with the dreamer encouraged to navigate challenges with resilience and faith. And so I started doing a little bit more thinking into what led up to my dream last night. What did I do throughout the day? And I did something new. I decided to put my focus on things that would help change my mindset in a positive direction. Instead of focusing on entertainment-based content all of the time, I figured that I should feed my focus and edify my spirit with more messages of motivation and success. I put so much more stock into content that is educational and that can do those things, such as edify my spirit and feed my focus for the good. With that said, there were some things even within myself that I had to identify in regards to my own reactions to the outside world and the feelings that I identified within me through my frustration, through whatever the case may be, right? And then I have this dream looking into some of the symbolism in regards to tornadoes, and the conclusion of my dream being that I survived this tornado. I feel like that is a powerful message for whoever is listening to this reading right now. If you've been putting more work into yourself and into your vision, you more than likely have been met with this right here, King of Cups reversed energy. You may have been met with people that we're trying to manipulate how you feel, manipulate how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, using your emotions against you, or completely just draining you emotionally. Some of those may be applying to some of us here. And I believe that we've decided to turn whatever offers that embody this energy here, someone trying to be manipulative, to cause you to be angry and frustrated and fearful, you are saying no to that. You're focused on those who show you love without being prompted. And I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this a little bit more, and then I'm going to cut the deck and lay it out, because I want to make sure I'm giving you the full scope of what's going on here. This is already in the heart of the matter. People trying to affect you emotionally. Emotion, from what I've learned throughout my journey of study, of different spiritual practices, etc., I've learned that people will use your emotions against you because emotions are simply energy in motion. That alone, along with your mindset, your thoughts, can either work for you or work against you if you're not careful about what you're indulging in, who you're surrounded by, and what you're watching and listening to, the way that you think about yourself, the way that you speak about yourself and others. All of these things can be affected and manipulated through our emotions. A lot of us are identifying this. We're doing a lot more research. We're studying about the self, or doing independent study, to put it quite simply. And for those of us seeking justice in regards to some of this manipulative behavior, someone that may even want to offer us something that may look like a gift or an offering of love, or some sort of food or drink here, a lot of us are wisening up to that. Some of us are learning about people using food and drinks to affect your vibration and frequency. And that's another thing that I feel like we should focus more on and put more stock and importance and significance into our frequency. Since we are at least 70% water, I myself am even learning that the emotional state is just as important as the physical and mental. I believe that that represents, or is represented by, the Holy Trinity in a sense. Going inward and applying the concept of the Holy Trinity, trifecta, mother, maiden, and crone, whatever your beliefs are, they are of one and the same when it comes to an energetic aspect. We all have God within us through consciousness, through our spirit. And our bodies are simply a vessel for that. We're learning not to allow the emotions of others to affect our inner state. And some of us may be realizing that that's what we've been doing. A lot of people are watching as we're deciding to say no to the emotional manipulation of others. People trying to play on our heartstrings just for their own selfish gains. This could be within the family here, within friendships, within our environments and our associations. To those of us that we may have felt like we just couldn't get along with, we tried and tried and tried, but it would always end up in the same result where someone is just bitter. I feel like somebody is very angry or they're afraid to show their emotion. So they want to try to place blame on you for your reactions to some of their outbursts and angry behaviors and things that they say to try to hurt you. Just to put it simply, we put a stop to this. We're seeking justice. We're speaking our truth. We're starting to, discuss ideas of how to move forward. Maybe we're getting introduced to other people and other mentors that could genuinely help us to heal some of this here, because a lot of us may have been dealing with hurts within, our family dynamics. And guys, just apply it to your situation. Sometimes some of these readings are not going to be for everybody. But to those that need to hear these messages, that's who they will be for. And so if you've been dealing with things like this, you felt like you weren't getting along with the people around you, or they just refused to get along with you, you felt drained after dealing with them, maybe they made you feel a lot lonelier than you were before, that has come to an end. Because now we're focused on releasing the pain of betrayal and heartbreak. We are releasing ourselves from connections and even offers, new offers that resemble this here, where somebody is just angry. They want others to be miserable and angry. They'll even use food and drink to try to manipulate or gain trust or what have you, but they have, evil intentions here. They themselves may have issues with being able to display how they feel, and so they result in all of these abusive tactics to deflect from the fact that they are afraid to express who they truly are, express how they feel. Some of these people just downright don't have empathy. They just don't have empathy. And my journey of looking into narcissism and psychopathy and sociopathy and things of that nature, it helped me to identify who displayed some of these characteristics and character traits within my relationships, going all the way back to childhood up till the present. And it's taught me who's who, and can help better equip me to protect myself in the future. I feel like there's a message in there for those of you that are listening as well. Remember what you've learned, because I see long-term financial security for you. You've been investing in yourself, and therefore you're starting to reap the fruits of your labor. And someone is very angry about it. This could be someone that you considered a friend. I see Leo coming up. I see Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, a male here. Could be an older male for some of you, and they may have these signs in their chart. This person is trying to bring torment to those around them because they themselves are tormented. You are coming out of a period of dealing with someone causing you pain and anguish and using your emotions to do so through the knowledge and wisdom of how that works and how to stop it. And learning not to allow those around you or anything outside of you and outside of your control to affect your inner state. You're reaching a state of forgiveness. You're focusing on forgiving yourself and forgiving others. And this person is refusing to heal. They're dealing with depression. They're feeling very low vibrational. Some of these people could be working with demons, quite literally, for those that are in, the occult, for those of you that are dealing with occultists. And this even goes back to the church, right? I know a lot of people that call themselves whatever religion that they are, but then come to find out they're doing spell work in the background. They're in a coven. they're doing all of these sacrificial sort of rituals. And someone may even use food and drink charged with some of these energies, these negative, low vibrational energies, and to give to you. Or they're trying to use your emotions to get through to try to affect you in that way. It's not working because you decided you're not going to deal with any imbalanced people. You're not going to deal with imbalanced relationships. So if you're doing all of the work and initiating and planning and wanting to talk and all that, you're no longer putting yourself through that anymore. You're staying silent about what it is that you are doing and plan to do. These people are facing judgment while we are in the process of rebirth. Some of you guys could be born again. And there's someone here within the church that may be this way for some of you that applies to. Somebody that's using food and drink to try to affect your emotional state, or always using anger and bitterness to affect you. Never congratulating you, never giving you the emotional support. This is the very definition of emotional unavailability. Some of us may have felt like we haven't been liberated from this as of yet, because some of us may still be holding on. Some of you guys may still be holding on to people that you've known for years that it's time to let go of. Maybe some of you have already made that decision to walk away, but there are still some lingering emotions within some of us that we're still working to clear and identify and correct. The cycle of them abusing you is over. And these people are still stuck in the past. They're still stuck on who you were in the past, or who they thought that you were in the past. And they still apply that to you to this day. Some of you guys could be dealing with people like that. And it's like, I haven't been that person even when you met me, you know? And you're working on forgiveness instead of being bitter like this other person is. They're bitter that you are working on yourself and proving them wrong, I'm hearing. You're regaining balance here. You're finding relationships where they're mutually beneficial for you, not just financially. We're talking mutual support, mutual love and compassion, mutual understanding, compromise. When it comes to those of us dealing with, paying off things like such as student loans or whatever we're paying off, right? A lot of us are finding the help that we need to do so. And a lot of us are doing so through going back to school, working on our goals, our vision, making an effort, a concerted, consistent effort every single day to bring about what it is that we set to build upon. Whether that's financial wealth, whether that's general abundance, whether that's genuine, long-lasting love built on trust, respect, loyalty, understanding, and love coming through as an action, a consistent action, might I add. We are finding that through our efforts and through our consistent steps to take action towards our goals, we're starting to see things shift in a positive way. We're starting to see things develop. We're starting to see our efforts bear fruit. For those of you that were waiting on promotions, that has already come through. This could even be a spiritual promotion, emotional promotion. And when I say spiritual promotion, I mean in the spiritual realm, ordained by God Himself. I want to see what this Nine of Swords reversed is. But this is powerful, you guys. Continue to do what you've been doing, taking action to Improve yourself, because good fortune is coming your way, especially to those of you that are entrepreneurs, to those of you that are focusing on creative pursuits, artistic pursuits. Those of you that could be artists, like you like to draw, you love to make music, you love to dance, you love to sing, you love to, whatever the case may be, create content. Good fortune is coming your way with this Four of Wands here. I'm seeing things manifest for you. Abundance, good fortune, stable foundation. And that's funny, going back to that dream. Whatever you've dealt with, whatever you put an end to, you may have put an end to old habits, old belief systems, old connections, old whatever the case may be, right? Old patterns. You're shifting and transforming whatever you've been doing into something more refined, something a lot more significant, positive, fulfilling. You're not focusing on lack like some of these people are, where they just want to watch the world burn. Some of you guys could be dealing with a Scorpio and a Pisces, because I'm seeing double references to those signs. I'm also seeing Aries, Leo, Sagittarius here. For those of you that were wondering whether you should say yes or no to an offer here, pay attention to the signs that I had mentioned earlier and just apply it to your situation through some of the energies revealed. But saying no to this person will liberate you from this, as long as you continue to make a concerted effort and consistent effort to work towards your goals. Who is this King of Cups reversed? So they may have brought a lot of opposition and conflict your way, and left you feeling torn whether you should hold on. But it's clear as day that by you moving on, those doubts of whether you did the right thing or not, clear those away, because you did. For some of you, it could be a CEO of a company. It could be a fatherly figure, someone that you have kids with that is a father. For the ladies out there, apply it to your situation. This Aries is in the reverse, if it is an Aries specifically for some of you as well. They are very prideful. They're very much in the ego. They're all about appearances. They love to abuse their power in your life and the position that they feel like they have in your life. They love to abuse those around them verbally, emotionally, mentally, just try to make them feel like utter garbage, because maybe they themselves are feeling that way. This is the type of person that is very arrogant. They think they can just get away with all of these things that they've been doing, but that's coming to a close, because now that you've moved on from, this could be a workplace environment that was like this, somebody that is very controlling and demanding and overly prideful, to a fault. I mean, that reminds me of Pulp Fiction, where I believe Ving Rhames said, fuck pride. It never helps, it only hurts. King of Swords reversed. You guys may be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius here, an older gentleman who is just downright cold. They're just cold. Nobody's wanting to collaborate with this type of individual. Some of you guys may be dealing with older gentlemen in your family that represent these signs here as well. They always feel like their ideas are better than other people's. They don't collaborate with those around them. They are very controlling and manipulative, and they just want to cut others down if they feel as though they don't look the same or sound the same as them or run in the same circles. It's very abusive. This person is abusing their power, is what I'm hearing. King of Swords reversed. I see the Devil reversed. So Capricorns, to the Capricorns out there, you guys are reclaiming your power from this energy, from this person. Some of you guys could be dealing with a Virgo as well, that has been isolated or feeling isolated. More than likely due to you cutting this person off. You're not speaking to them because every time they say something, it's to cause upset. It's to try to harm you, and you've picked up on that. And you're not dealing with this anymore. Two of Cups reversed. So we have the King of Pentacles. Guys, control your finances. You know, that's in the advice position. Control this money that you're getting coming in. Don't shell it out to people that are abusive, because they're going to try to, you know, bleed you dry is what I'm saying, because they see that you're actually making an effort to accumulate your wealth. But with that said, you guys, that is what I have for you. Guys, drop it below what resonated with you. And until next time, stay blessed, not stressed. Peace and love.